Okay, good afternoon. Am I audible?
Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, good afternoon. Uh, Previous class we were discussing this iteratable object, okay, zip function, and one parameter what you can pass the zip function is the iteratable. And what is an iteratable? So you have built-in iteratables also, and you can also go for defining the user-defined iteratables. So built-in iteratables are something like list, string, and dictionary, because on all these objects you can go for iterating. And similarly, you can also have the user-defined iteratable passed as argument to zip function. And how to do that? By using the combination of these two methods, double underscore iter and double underscore next and double underscore next method. So these two methods are the protocol methods for achieving the iterators in the Python. And then yeah, this also we finished. And this example, I think we did it. I took the example of a list, and then I created an iterator with the name myIter by using iter method, and then so pass this myIter object as argument to next. So every time I call this next, it fetches the next item from the list, and once it reaches the end of the list, if I call again, so it raises an error with no items left. And this we executed in the previous class. So I think we had completed it till here. Okay, this was also done because so this is what we understood, how to iterate over the items by using the iter method and the next method. So but the more beautiful way of automatically iterating over the iteratable objects is by using the for loop. So this is what we have used till now. But this for loop which we use in order to iterate over the iteratables, so again is implemented by using the iter method and the next method that I discussed it in the previous slide. Now if you want to look into the internal implementation of this for loop, this is how it looks. Now see, we are creating an iter object here, and then entering into an infinite while loop, and there within the try block we are writing next of iter object. Okay, the element is taken, and what is this variable element? This is actually coming from the for loop. So whatever the variable name you specify here, it gets substituted into the internal implementation of the for loop here. Say for example, if I write here only ELE, so then this variable name is ELE, something like that. So get, and when all the objects are all the items of the specified iteratable objects are taken, so finally if there are no more iterations, so then this is what the except block called. Okay, stop the iteration. So this is the internal implementation of this for loop, which iterates over any iterable. Okay, so this for loop is, as for us it looks so simple, but internally it does something like this. Okay, now return value from zip. I think I had completed this also. Whenever I told for the zip function, you can go for passing 0 or more iterators. So when you don't pass any parameters, okay, that is, if you're not passing any iterators to the zip function, it returns an empty iterator. And similarly, if you're passing only one iteratable to the zip function, it returns only one tuple. So if you're passing more than one, okay, say for example we have this, I think this example I showed you the other day. So say I'm passing two iteratables as argument to zip function, where one iteratable containing 3 items and another iteratable containing 5 elements. Now what the zip function is going to do is it's going to return me an iterator that has 3 tuples, because the zip function stops when the shortest iteratable is exhausted. Here among the two iteratables that we are passing, so one iteratable is only of length 3, so it has to stop at the length 3. Okay, so the number of tuples that are returned by the zip function will be 3 tuples. Why? Because it stops when it sees the shortest iteratable. Okay, so the other day I think I wrote an example also and I showed you people. Okay, now here is the example on it, how zip works in Python. So I think we have to start discussing from this example. Okay, so I've taken a number list 1, 2, 3 and another string list. This is the digits, and these are the number names. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Now I am calling the zip function, and the return value is being assigned to a result. Okay, converting the iterator to a list. Okay, now here what I'm doing, list of result. So the result will be an empty tuple. When you don't pass any parameter, no parameter, what zip returns is an empty iterator. Okay, so I'm converting that into a list and trying to assign it to the result list, and then trying to print the same. So next example what I'm taking is, so zip function passed with 2 arguments now. So I'm passing 2 iteratables, both are iteratables here. So this is list of integers and this is list of strings. So both are iteratable objects. So and that they are being passed as argument to zip now. So 2 things we are passing. And then the return value, you know from the zip what it returns now. So since both the iteratables which you are passing as argument to zip have the same number of items, now zip should return the tuple of length 3. Okay, so list of tuples with length 3. So that is what it should return, and now I'm converting that iterator into a set and then printing the same. Okay, so now we will have a look into this by executing. Let me create these 2 lists. Okay, now I'll create those 2 lists. It's a number list and string list. Okay, both are created. Next what we do, so let me call zip without passing any parameter. Now zip should return an empty tuple. I'm not passing any iteratable object here as argument to zip. Now the return result, the result returned by zip is an empty tuple. Okay, so now we'll go for printing the same. So by creating the result set, so before printing you got to create the result list. See, I'm making creating a list, result list, by passing result as the argument. Right now this is empty because I want to print it as the list of tuples. Okay, so when I do it, see, I am getting an empty list. What does it mean? There are no tuples returned by the zip function because there are no arguments passed. Next what I do, I'll pass my number list and string list as argument to zip. So they are already created. Number list is already created and string list is also already created. Now what zip has returned is the tuples. How many tuples it will return? 3 tuples. Now since tuples cannot be displayed directly, I'll make it as a list and then I'll go for displaying it. So either you can make it as a list or else you can make it as a set also. Okay. So I'll try to make it as a list itself. See, I'm passing this result as argument to list, and what it produces is the list of tuples. Now I'll go for printing the result list. See, now it is the list of tuples. So how many we passed? We passed 2 parameters. One is the number list, another one is the string list. So the number list has 3 integers and the string list has 3 strings, and what the zip function has produced is the list of 3 tuples. Okay, it is the list of 3 tuples. So where the first item from each iteratable is paired. So 1 gets paired with 1 and 2 gets paired with 2 and the digit 3 gets paired with the number name 3. Okay, so this is how it say if you pass one more argument, so then each tuple will have 3 items. It produces the list of tuples, and where the length of each tuple is 3, or the number of items in each tuple will be 3. Okay, so that is one thing. So either you can go for converting it into a list or a set. Okay, so here it was converted into the set, but I converted it into the list. Anything is fine. Next, so different number of elements in iteratables passed to zip. So in the previous example here you understood both the iteratables that we passed add the same number of items, but here we go for changing the number of items. Okay, so number list, if you observe, there are 3 items which are present inside the number list, but in the string list I have only 2 items present. So the lengths of these iteratables are not same right now. Now again I'm passing those 2 and I have one more number tuples also which has 4 strings. Okay, this is a tuple. So what I'm passing is the number list and the number tuples. Any iteratables you can pass. Okay, so this is a tuple and this is the list and this is a list, but these 2 lengths are not matching, and this is of type, this object is of type list and this object is of type tuple. So this is a list and this is a tuple what we are passing. So any iteratable you can pass. So tuple is also an iteratable zip. Now and what it returns now is, so among this list object and the tuple object, that the list object is shorter. Okay, now the length of, or the number of items that will be present inside the result will be 3 tuples, because it stops when it sees the shortest iteratable. Now in this, among these 2, the shortest iteratable is the number list. Okay, yeah, and in the next example, so I'm passing all the 3. So I'm passing the number list, I'm passing the string list, I'm also passing the tuples object. Now in this example, the shortest iteratable object is the string list, because it is with only 2 items. So now the number of tuples that should be there inside the result that is written by the zip is also 2. Okay, now we'll go for executing this. So this will return how many tuples? The first example will return you the 3 tuples, but the second example should return you only 2 tuples. Okay, only 2 tuples with how many items? 3 items in each tuple, and this will be returning 3 tuples with 2 items in each. Okay, we'll do this. So all the 3 objects are created now: number list object, string list object, and the numbers tuple object. All the 3 are created. Next, I pass number list and numbers tuples object as argument to zip. Done. Now we'll make it as a list. It's here only. It is made as a list. Now when I print it, so you should see the list of 3 tuples where the length of each tuple is 2. See, it is a list of how many tuples. So this is a list, and this is a tuple. How many tuples are there? 1, this is 2, and this is 3. And what is the length of each tuple? It is only 2. Okay. Next, now if we look into the second example, where we are passing all the 3 iterable objects. So I'm passing all the 3 now, and we'll go for converting the result written by the zip into a list. So the result written by the zip function or the zip method is converted into the list, and if I print, you'll see a list of 2 tuples where the length of each tuple is 3. See, it is a list with how many tuples? Only 2. This is one tuple and this is the another tuple, but what is the length of each tuple? It is 3. OP, people are following?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Next. So unzipping. So till now you understood how to zip 0 or more iteratable objects, okay, and get the list of tuples, okay, and how zip behaves when you're not passing any iteratable objects, how zip behaves when you're passing 2 or more iteratable objects with equal length, and how zip behaves when you're passing 2 or more iteratable objects with different lengths. So all the things you have understood now. Okay, till now zipping is done. Now how do you unzip it? Okay, say for unzipping, we make use of this operator. So normally we call this as an asterisk operator. This operator is used for unzipping along with the zip function to unzip the list. Okay, so star operator can be used in conjunction with the zip function to unzip the list, and how it is used, something like this. Okay, so zip star zipped list. Okay, this is the zipped list. So you use this pass this zip list, so by using star along with the zip list, so it will go for unzipping. So for example, I have this now. I have the coordinates x, y, z and their values 4, 5, 3, 4, 5, 0 and 9, and they are they have the different length. Now what I'm doing first, initially I'm zipping them. Now since they are of different length, so the result written by the zip function should have the list of tuples. How many tuples? 3 tuples, where the length of each tuple is 2. And next, after I zip it into the result list, something like this, next I go for unzipping. Okay, now when you are unzipping, since each tuple has 2 items, so the number of variables which you specify at the LHS to zip function, okay, should be equal to the number of items which are there in the tuple. So now since the each tuple has 2 items, the number of variables which you specify towards the LHS should also be 2. Okay, in case if the number of items in the tuple is 3, then you should have 3 variables specified towards the LHS of the zip function, or in order to hold the return value from the zip function when you are unzipping. Okay, so unzipping is basically done by using the zip function, but in conjunction with what? The star operator or the asterisk operator. Okay, so now we'll look how unzipping is performed. So I am defining two lists now. One is the list of characters, which I call it as the coordinates, and other one is the list of integers, which I call it as the value. Next, so we'll go for zipping them and print the result also. See, it is a list of 3 tuples where each tuple has 2 items. Okay. Next, now I go to unzip. So I need to get this original value. Okay. So what I can get? I need to get the list of coordinates separately and the list of values separately. So let me do this and later go for printing. So now it is unzipped. Now I'll say print C. So all the first items of the tuple gets assigned to C, and all the second items of the tuple gets assigned to V. Now if I print C, so you can see all the first items from the tuples X, Y, and then Z. Now again I say print V, which is nothing but the values or the second items from each of the tuple. So 3, 4, 5. So you can efficiently go for zipping and unzipping 2 or more iteratable objects. So that is the beauty of what the Python programming language. Most of the objects here in Python programming language, they are iteratable objects. You can iterate over them easily. Next, so this one, yeah. Now I want you to write this program now. Write a Python program to combine each line from the first file with the corresponding line in the second file and write it to the third file. So you got to open 3 files here: first file, second file. So these 2 are the source file, and one more file you got to open, that is the third file in the write mode. Okay, so this is the destination file. What you have to do is take the first line from the first file. So take the corresponding first line from the second file, merge them or combine them, and write it to the third file. Yeah, start doing. Yes, started. So it is easy because you know how to open the file in read mode, and there are 2 ways of opening the file. Of course, you know both of them, and then how to open the file in the write mode, and you know how to iterate over every line of the file. Now start doing it. So this one example I'll show you. Maybe the other example, the next example, you try to do it. See here, I'm opening the files, okay, in what mode? Read mode. abc.txt is my one source file, and now I'm opening the same file again with a different handler because I want to merge the same file, or else you can take it as a different file also, not an issue. abc.txt, just let me make it as xyz.txt. xyz.txt. So handler for the first file is fh1, and handler for the second file is fh2. File handler 1 and file handler 2. And opening the another file with the name merged in the write mode with the handler fw, file write. Okay. Now I'm making use of the zip function. Okay. Observe here. For line 1, line 2 in zip of f1 comma f2. Okay, so fh1 is an iteratable, fh2 is also an iteratable. When I say you should go for merging the corresponding lines from both the files and write it to the third file, so again this process you have to stop when the shortest file ends. Okay, so the first file has 5 lines and the second file has the 10 lines. Now the third file, the resultant file which you are creating, how many lines it should have? It should have 5 lines, because the first file has only 5 lines. So that is what the zip function does. What zip does now, it's going to return you the list of tuples. So and each tuple will have how many items? 2 items. So if you just look into one tuple, so first tuple of the list, it will be having the first line from the first file and this first line from the second file. If I just look into the second tuple of the list, it will be having the second line from the first file and second line from the second file. And when since I'm writing 2 variables here, so the first tuple, first item gets assigned to line 1, the first tuple second item gets assigned to line 2, which is nothing but the first line from the second file. Next, what I'm doing, I'm combining them. You know what plus operator does on a string? It does the concatenation operator. So print line 1 plus line 2. So I'm just printing it on the console also, on the display unit, and also writing the same thing to the file. See, line 1 plus line 2, I'm writing it. So hope you people understood with this. Now you understood how to use the zip function. So we were using the zip function in the earlier example. We used zip function on the iteratable objects like the list and then the tuples or dictionary, anything. But now you understood how to use the zip function on the files. Hope you people understood with this program. Any doubts?
No, sir.
Yeah. So take the first line. So what this will do? First line from the first file. So first line from the second file. So they are made as a tuple and added to the list. Then takes the second line from the first file, second line from the second file, makes it as a tuple and add it to the list. And since we have 2 variables, now I can go for writing 2 variables here. So because the what zip returns is a tuple, so tuple is, each tuple is of length 2 here. In case if the tuple length is 3, then how many variables I got to write here? 3 variables I got to write. Okay, so this is a small a program. So same thing if you want to do it using the C programming language or the C# or Java. So the program length, you can just imagine how big the program will be. But here in Python, so you can do it more beautifully, and the program length is also very small and very easy to understand also. Now we'll execute it. Okay, now before executing, let me create 2 files. One is abc.txt. I'll erase all these things. I'll write something. Some lines I need, that's all. Enough. I'll save this as abc.txt. So it says ABC is already there. Okay, replace it. Now similarly, I open xyz.txt. Okay, something I have to write here. Okay, I'll save it. xyz.txt in the lowercase, let me do. So both the text files are stored now. Now we'll go for running our program. So merged I'm not creating, because when I explained, when you're opening the file in the write mode, if the file already exists in the system, it will be opened in the write mode. If the file doesn't exist, it will create for you. Merge merged file will be automatically created for you if it doesn't exist. If it is already there, it will open and it will overwrite the same. So it is not necessary for me to create it. But open fails if the file which you are passing as argument doesn't exist. Okay, this is my program. Okay, this symbol is creating the problem. I have to rewrite it. So this one I have to erase. When we do copy paste, it takes it as a different character. See now. Yeah, now line 1, let me open abc.txt. Okay. Okay, see, when I'm writing, why? See, it's merged now. See, the first line, this is the first line from the first line, first file, and this is the first line from the second file. This is the first line from the second line from the first file, and this is the second line from the second file. You can just observe here. So they are merged and written. Okay. So but they are appearing in new line. Now what is that I need to do if I want these to be merged? I want the lines also to be merged. Any idea what to do? See, when I wrote this line in abc.txt, I have given an enter key here. /n is here. So I got to remove this /n. And in the yesterday's class, you understood how to remove the /n's or how to strip a character. You got to do the right strip. Okay. Right strip for the first line. Okay. R strip, and what is that you need to remove? You got to remove the new line. Okay. This program, if I modify, I'll just show you again. So on this line, I invoke, on line 1, I invoke R strip, and I pass this new line, and then merge it with the line 2 of, so the line of the second file. Okay, here also same thing I have to do. Okay, now we'll run this. See now, till here, it is the first line of abc.txt. Observe here, abc.txt first line, and xyz.txt first line is this, from m to this. This is the first line of the second file, which is merged with the first line of the first file. Okay, and similarly all. So if you want a space between here, okay, you can also do that. How to give a space? Yeah, how to give a space? So I got to add one more plus, and then this here also. Append a blank space. Okay, I'll run this again now. See now, so there is a space. There is the first line from the first file, first line from the second file, and they are separated by a space. And this is what is displayed on the console, on the output screen, but the same is also written to the file called as merged. We'll try to open it. So merged somewhere here. Okay, now the name of the file which was opened in the write mode, merged. Okay, let me all files I'll do. Yeah, here is the merged file. So but it was not specified as the extension was not specified as the .txt. So when it was here, it was displaying only the .txt files. Now I just made it as all files. So merged is here. Okay, so this is the text file. I'll just open it. See now, merged file. So same thing, whatever you are seeing here is also written to the file. So hope you understood.
Yes, sir.
You understood the use of the function or the method zip, correct, right? Okay. Next one, try to do this. Yeah, this is the same thing which I explained you people now. So this program was without removing the new line character from the end of every line, but here write a Python program to remove the new line character from a file. Yeah, do this. This is easy, you can do it. So just now I explained it. Yeah, finished. So it's easy. So open the file and then get the handler. So iterate using the handler on each line. So and you go for removing the new line character. This was an easy program. Next, yeah, do this. Yeah, so this is one which I showed you now. So eliminating the new line character and merging the first line from both the files, second line from both the files. Okay, this one. Python program to combine each line from the first line with the corresponding line in the second file by eliminating the new line and write it to the third file. So same thing. See, opening ABC. So I was opening the same file here, but you can open any different file also. Then creating this merged.txt, and then here, see, from both I'm eliminating. So in the previous example which I showed, I was eliminating the new line character only from the first line, only from the lines of the first file. So but I'm doing it for the lines of the second file as well. Okay, and then writing it to the new file. Next, current file position. So we have something called as a current file pointer or the current file position. So every file maintains the current file position or the current file pointer. So and it tells the current position of the file where the next read or the write operation is going to happen. So what you understood till now was the sequential read. So whenever we were reading from the file, it used to by default start from the beginning of the file, and whenever you are trying to write to the file, by default it used to start writing from the beginning of the file. In case if I want to perform the random read or the write from the file, so then I require the current file position or the current file pointer. Okay, so using that I can this current file position or the current file pointer, I can set it to the desired position, and there from there I can go for performing the next read or the write operation. So this is how it looks. File object buffer. So this is the beginning of the file. So and this is the end of the file, and the current file position can be anywhere between the beginning of the file and end of the file. So and one more thing what you have to understand is the current file position what we discussed, it never points to the content which is stored on the disk. So it points to the content of the same file which is loaded into the buffer or the main memory. Now how do we know the current file position or the current file pointer? So you can make use of this method, tell method. So tell method tells you the current file position. Say for example, I'm opening this abc.txt in the read mode. Now and after opening abc.txt in the read mode, so if I start reading, it always reads from the beginning of the file. Okay, say myfile.read 42. I've told it to read 42 bytes from the beginning. Now when it reads 42 bytes from the beginning, the read write pointer will be positioned. After reading the first 42 bytes, read write pointer will be positioned to the 42nd byte. Now if I tell myfile.tell, it gives me what? 42. That means the read write pointer is right now positioned to what? 42th byte. We'll just see this example. So abc.txt is this file now. So this is the abc.txt. I'm opening it in the read mode. So single inverted comma, this also. I'm opening is abc.txt in the read mode. Now what I'll do, I'll just read. My file is the handler. My file dot read. So I don't go for reading 42 bytes because this file is very less in size. I'll just say 10 bytes. See, first 10 bytes are read from the beginning. See, what you're seeing is the first 10 bytes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So including this white space, first 10 bytes are returned by the read function. Next what I'll do, my file dot I invoke the method tell. Now where is the read write pointer position right now? It is positioned at the 10th byte because it has started reading from the 0th byte, and right now it is positioned at the 10th byte. Okay, now even the tell should also tell the current read write pointer is how much? 10. Okay. Next, so in case if you want to see, you understood now how to get the current read write pointer or the current position, file position. In case if you want to set the current position of the file or the current file pointer to the desired position, so then you can go for using the method seek. Say I want to set the current position of the file. So right now, if you look into this example, the current position of the file or the current file pointer is right now pointing to the 10th byte of the file. So if I want to make it point back to the 0th byte or the beginning of the file BOF, so then I can invoke the execution of the method seek on the corresponding file handler. So fd.seek, what I'm doing is now 0. That means this will make the file pointer again point back to the 0th byte of the file. Say if I want to make the file pointer or the current file position as the 100 byte, if I want to set it to 100 byte from the beginning of the file, or set it to set it at an offset of 100 byte from the beginning of the file, or at a displacement of 100 byte from the beginning of the file, so then I do it something like this: fd.seek 100. So OP people are following?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this one I'll show you. Seek. See, right now read write pointer for this file abc.txt, it's right now pointing at the 10th byte. Now I need to set it all the way back to what. So if I let me do it again. My file dot read. Say I need to read 5 more bytes. So from where it will read? So it will read from the 10th byte. So 10th byte is this. So this is the 10th byte. Look into the file, observe my mouse movement. This is the 10th byte. Now I have told read 5 more bytes. From where it will read? From here. So H, D, K, A and a space will get. Okay, I modified it. HD. So till here it has displayed. Next thing what it will display is HD, KA and a space. See, HD, KA and a space. Now if I want to read again from the beginning, now I do my file dot my file dot seek 0. So I'm making the current file position back to 0. I'm setting the current file position back to 0 or the beginning of the file. Okay, 0. Now if I read, it will once again start from the beginning. See, so it has read first 5 bytes from the beginning. So OP people understood? Yes?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we'll stop here. So you understood how to perform the random read today from the file. So tomorrow we'll understand how to do the random write. Okay, and then so finish taking the attendance. So 79 absent, 223 absent, 425 absent, 54, 104. So